Hey guys, AniCrunch here, and we're back with Hannibal. We've all got to room to it because I've got work in about an hour and I still need to do quite a few bits. But yeah, if you guys enjoy the action, leave a like, subscribe to, let's jump into this. 3, 2, 1, play.
Hannibal.
I'm a good fisherman, Jack. You look it. I'll in.
Never seen things like these.
I love that. That piece of dialogue's so good now.
Writing. She's pathological. I'm sure she's told you.
I can't believe what he did.
You're going to find something wrong. Would be your theory of my mind.
I'm so curious how the season's going to end. The fact it goes on for another season, something goes horribly wrong.
We're just, whenever feasible, one should always try to eat the root.
Free range rude.
I love the little twitch in
Would you
his
join me at
face
the
there
table?
for Hannibal. Oh, such a good actor. Why is everything so bloody well shot in this show?
What did you see?
You're deaf in 4K, Jesus. Kind of looks sad though when he's there. They have the weirdest relationship in TV history. And then he looked very happy at the same time. That smile by Will was so menacing. How is this show? I saw it was the show was not like massive. It's so good.
Clearly, he needs help.
I like the idea of having this longer arc of a case with these, with obviously the sister and the brother.
It was done laparoscopically, but my brother told them to leave a scar.
Wow.
Branded you.
Mason wants you to know this can never be undone.
That Mason, Jesus.
Can be undone.
Oof.
Not without taking.
I don't know if I can prove that. You mutilated the body.
Oh, Will was pretty honest then.
You made a public spectacle of Freddie Lounge's death. I'm out on a limb here, and the limb is going to break. I've only told the OIG what they need to know. Now, what haven't you told me?
Mate, I can't believe he actually told Jack. I thought he would just get that to himself. I guess he had to. Will.
Hannibal's trying to manipulate me into murdering one of his patients. Mason Verger. But I can manipulate Hannibal into killing him instead.
This is a long and head of a game of chicken.
Talking about putting a man's life in danger.
You know, sometimes, Jack, a good plan is less about finding the best alternative than it is about finding one that works.
They are really going off the books with this plan.
Confuse what you want with what Lecter wants.
I told you, Jack. I'm a good fisherman.
Yeah, but how far will you go to get that fish?
Hannibal tries to kill Mason Verger, I'll arrest him. And you'll have 2 witnesses.
We might have 3. I'm a good fisherman, too.
Hey, Jack is going on the unethical. Oof. I'm glad Will told Jack about the murder and the museum murder. The Queen. After watching Sex Ed, I just fell in love with her more. Mate, Jack did catch a big fish. Jesus. I don't feel like we could trust her though. I feel like she's way more loyal to Lecter than we think.
That was the abortion. It is persuasion. Has he ever tried to persuade you to kill anybody?
Wow.
He will. And it will be somebody you love. And you will think it's the only
Ooh, is he
choice you
aiming for Bloom? But she's getting sus of Hannibal, so I can't see it.
You catch him.
Hannibal.
So satisfying. Why is just pouring wine in this show? It's like watching Sakugo animation in anime when like they put all the budget into shots. Not budget, but you know what I mean. All the working time.
So much about this feels like a dream.
I mean, watching this feels like a dream half the time.
Dreams prepare us.
Isn't that what you did to Abigail? Got her to take a life. So
That
she'd
scenery though,
forgive
just with the
her.
fire in the office and the perfect amount of darkness. And I just killed you guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just like perfect amount. They know how to use lighting.
To catch Hannibal. That's because he wants you to think that. Don't fool yourself into thinking he's not in control of what's happening.
Well, we've got an extra season, so that just proves to be true. She's not wrong.
The Latin word gelatus translates as frozen. Here,
There's so much going
the
on in
master
that.
provides a three-dimensional canvas in which one may stage a scene.
The eternal chase.
An evocative shape, in that at a certain point it becomes unclear who's pursuing whom.
The amount of foreshadowing in the fucking, just in the food alone. Not a foreshadowing, but like meaning.
Derived from bone, as a life is made from.
Alana Bloom isn't harboring any doubts. She's convinced that he murdered Freddie Lounds.
And you?
I am convinced of my general lack of trust in other people.
Lack of trust in other people increases the need for religion.
Fine religion.
You can't rely on others.
I always.
You have to rely on God.
Ah, Spider-Man.
I'm relying on myself. And yet in this moment, I have to confess that I don't know who's pursuing whom any more than these fish do.
Whomever is pursuing whom in this very moment, I intend to eat them.
God, he's so vague, it's great. That Will said earlier. Wonder how much this guy spends on ingredients. Though this isn't Hannibal's kitchen, is it? This is Will's, yeah. I was going to say completely different kitchen. Oh, you're going to do the extreme. Oh, Mason.
Mr. Verger wants your company. Please, come with us.
Preferirei di no.
I was going to say he's a bit outnumbered.
Mateo!
Oh, he got me in the artery.
You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, he just bled himself to death by putting on a night out. Oh, God. Hannibal just keeps finding himself in situations, doesn't he?
Take it Mateo didn't make it. Did he foul himself? I imagine he smells worse than you by now.
Whoa, Hannibal.
And you will get no money. Carlo! Carlo!
Oh, that was great.
Those little piggies are gonna go all the way
Oh,
home.
his actor. God.
The swan. We could have had some good, funny times together. It's a damn shame. I've muzzled the dog. Now it's time for you to put him down.
I don't think it wants to go through the easy route now of killing him. He tried that once, and he's not. By killing him, it just proves he's a murderer. He wants to take him the harsher way.
Don't bleep. What have you given me?
What has he done?
Variety of psychedelic compounds. Psychedelic.
God, how did he shoot these? Like, the director comes up with like some fucking great cinematography. Oh my god! This is terrifying.
Record your education, stockyards and slaughter.
What's going on?
I just love your dog.
No. What's?
How is that? Is that good? Do you want another piece? How about you? That's a good girl.
Wait. Oh, the
Shit.
dog's fine.
Shit.
Is he feeding himself to? What's going on?
I adopted some dogs from the shelter. 2 dogs that were friends. I
Is he
had
feeding
them in a
himself to the
cage
dog?
together with no food and fresh water. One of them died hungry. The other had a warm meal.
Oh, he's feeding his.
I should
Oh,
have put
God.
you in a cage.
Fucking hell, Hannibal. That to get someone to do that. Oh my god.
What Mason is experiencing isn't restricted to reality.
Oh, stop him doing that!
Reality has to be forced to adapt.
He fed his face to my dogs.
He broadened their palates, as I broaden yours.
Oh, stop it! I can't watch that. Oh.
Murder or miss?
Oh, that's so grim. Oh, why?
It's a Murina Kidako. Its common name is brutal.
This is
moray.
before.
Would you like to see why?
No, thank you. I don't
Wait,
want
is he
to
still alive?
Time, Mr. Verger. I realize that you probably need to get
How the
some rest,
fuck is he alive?
but I would like to ask you just a few questions about what happened to you.
How are you alive?
Broke my neck.
Reveal yourself. You've taunted him for long enough.
Oh, you're the one who manipulated Jack, him to go kill Jack.
See with clear eyes.
The fuck?
Jack has become my friend. I suppose I owe him the truth.
I bet he's not telling Jack at that risk. Will's even gave up Jack for his pursuit of capturing Hannibal. That's mad, actually. Like, he's risking Mason, who's a complete stranger, and he's risking Jack. Unless Jack doesn't know. So, yeah, it's like what we'll go to. Like, he won't murder someone, but he will like go to some extremes to catch Hannibal, maybe. I'm very curious actually how it plays out. I wonder what information Jack has. Yeah, no, a very good episode. Like I said, that whole storyline just paid off massively. The whole cat and mouse, you know, to get him to murder someone or get Will to get him to murder Mason, Hannibal to kill Mason. It didn't really go as well. It went really random. Now Will's using Jack. I'd like to say I'm curious if Jack knows. Like I say, graphically, oh, this episode was tough. Fucking hell. Oh, watching him feeding himself to the dogs. Oh, absolutely terrifying. We're going to have to keep the review short, so I'm just going to go through the Patreon comments, which was Daniel put, the cat has been hunting the mouse, but the mouse is starting to bite back, which is Will. But is he really? Or is or has, as you say, the cat has been hunting the mouse, or has the cat now trapped the mouse into a maze with decisions? We don't know with Hannibal. We don't know what he knows or what he's doing. It's just like fucking hell. Megan, I'm so happy you're watching this. It's so hard to get people to want to even give it a chance, which is quite surprising. You would think quite a lot of people just love this sort of show. But I want to try and see exposing to give it and more people to give it a chance, because its quality is just another level and it's such a masterpiece storytelling and visual. Would fully agree. The acting is so fucking good, and underrated is actually a crime. Fully agree. It got no Emmy the entire run. I will never not be salty about that, when it was better than 99% of the shows at the time. Like Glee got 15 Emmy nominations. The Flat Glee got 15 Emmy nominations in its entire run, and Game of Thrones Fantasy got a bunch of nominations, and Hannibal got none. Anyway, why is no one giving this show a chance? It's very shocking. Like, it's like, this seems to be like a lot of people sort of alley of TV. I don't get it. It's very random. Like, people love Dexter. How could you not love Hannibal? It's like 100 times better than Dexter. Yeah. The fact that Hannibal has a cult following, critically acclaimed, and active fan base, a dedicated cast and crew, articles written about it nearly 7 years after it was cancelled, and it didn't even get awarded it deserves or the renewal it deserves in time everything else except Hannibal is being renewed. Like, what makes me so mad? The fact things like Riverdale exist and this couldn't get an extra season just fucking is emotional. That was from Minikit, by the way, replying. Pain. I don't even want to think about that. That's just so shit, really. Minikit put, okay, going to try and remember everything I want to say. First, the cast, you're right, they're absolutely amazing. Mason's actor, though, is one of the ones I want to mention this time. I've only seen him in one other thing, but he's absolutely phenomenal. The other thing I've seen him in is called Funny Games, the English remake. It was originally Australia, but the director did a shot for remaking in English, and its version I saw starring Mason actor. It's called Funny Games, but might just be one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen. If you like anything like that, I highly recommend checking the movie out. But as I said, it's fucked up. Funny Games. Let's just Google that quickly. So his base, it looks like a sort of murderous role. I'm guessing it's something that, depicted an actor right. He was amazing in that, like absolutely outstanding. His actor is good at those creepy roles. Yeah, it looks like that looks like quite a creepy movie. So yeah, makes sense. On that note, I also really love the Molly Gray story, corruption arc being my favourite rather than redemption arcs. I do love corruption arcs. We all love this since the day of Star Wars, and then like just anything in general. There is a few redemption arcs I do truly love, but they're not truly redemption arcs. The ones I love, they're like, if you watch Hunter x Hunter, there's a villain called King in that, and he's so morally grey. It's just so well done, and it's not really redemption. It's just him finding his humanity. It's probably one of the most things I love most. But Berserk, one of my favourite mangas of all time, that one has corruption arcs to the max, and I love that. It's so good. Things that deal with heavy plot and have you liking characters that you shouldn't like. On a note, there is a show I want to recommend. It's only 9 episodes. It's a Korean drama that is available on Netflix and originally based on the webcomic. It's called Strangers from Hell, and it's very Hannibal-like, and it's another top 5 series, favorite series of all time. It's short but brilliant, and anyone who likes Hannibal, I believe I'm going to be doing a short series poll soon, so I'll add it to that, because I want to open up a slot for like 1 season shows, just because it means I could get through quite a few. I love seeing you lose your faith in Will. Don't. I really lost faith, and then cheer when it turns out you were wrong. Mate, never been happy to be so wrong, not to have faith in him. I do think Will killing Verger here, unlike the Randall or that social worker from before, would have felt odd and out of place. I also really enjoyed how they kind of removed Jack from this episode, not fully of course, so that they could hound in Alana's doubts over Will and Hannibal, because Jack knows what's going on the entire time clearly and not sure whose body that was. That's actually a good point, I guess. Yeah, because Jack knows, it makes a lot more sense having Alana be the one doubting. I think that's actually really good. They probably just got an X-ray of Freddy's teeth and slid them in. They did a similar thing in Full Metal with teeth. So yeah, I assume you get dental records, or you could get someone to fake it quite easily. In the actual FBI. Yeah, Mason's drinking Child Children Tears. This is actually one from the books. He probably did worse in the books, but Brian did tone some things down in the show for exclusion of sexual assault. He completely made it so that's not a thing in the show, or which are really amazing. So many shows just to make it a casual part of murder, but the murders are all about the murderers themselves. Even in their season 1 episode 1 where Jack pointed out how the girl died a virgin, she still stayed that way. Will said he did not dishonor them like that. I don't know if it's just one of those Hannibal facts that I really appreciate. Yeah, I think it's always like a lot of shows do lean heavy in on sexual assault for drama and purposes. So the fact that they leave it out is actually quite unique. There are more things though. I'm not saying sexual assault in shows can be like really, really well fucking done. I think Downton Abbey, that one was devastating when I was watching that. There are more things in this episode I can't talk about, but I hope I'll remember later on down the road. I should probably jot down notes, but I'm too lazy. Don't have to do that. You're just watching my reaction videos. I do really appreciate the in-depth comments. But as you said, you're interested in the fan theories. You probably eventually see them anyway. Tumblr is the best place for fan theories during the supernatural. Doctors who love Sherlock era Tumblr. I never really used Tumblr, to be fair. A little bit aloud. Hannibal fandom was right there in the corner being active as fuck, so there's a ton available. I unfortunately can't remember the question and I can't go through the last episode right now. Maybe I should write down those notes, but there is one thing I do remember that I can answer because it's not something that's ever discovered or talked about. It's the only thing we know through Verger is the actor, or it's just a fan theory, but fan theories are usually pretty spot on. What were Hannibal and Will eating? It wasn't Freddy. Well, it was human. It was Randall. That makes sense. Was he feeding Randall to his dogs? So I guess it would link up with that pretty nicely. Will likely knew he needed to make a big freaking show, or just how far he had come, and what better way to do that than partaking willingly in Hannibal's favourite meal. So he had Randall in the freezer, and I doubt he told Jack this part all honestly. So Will took meat from Randall and passed off as Freddy's. He could have told Jack, because at the end of the day, he fucking told Jack he displayed it on the museum, didn't he? God, he's honest. Human meat is something you can lightly fake to a person who eats it regularly and consumes it, which actually makes a lot of sense, which is just wow. We're always determined and kind of applaud him for that. Like, that got to take a strong stomach, that's for sure. And I think it just adds on more to how far Will's fallen. Not fallen, like Will hasn't fallen. I mean, like how far Will will go to get Hannibal arrested. He did the murder tactic to get Hannibal murdered once. And he realised a mistake, and he's trying to do it in a legal way to actually get him arrested. But my God, Hannibal was not making it easy for him, and he's having to go through outside the police like confines of morals to try and do this. As you could look at it, like Hannibal's killed a lot of people, and he needs to be caught. But the easiest way is just to kill him. That's the easy way, and Will's going for the much harder way of capturing him. Now, try and imagine trying to capture Hannibal by sticking with the police confines. It wouldn't happen. It's just like, he's too good.